style play cricket on any kind of wicket. They make the West Indies team look so bad. We was in all kind of trouble. Joey Carew pull a muscle. Clive Lloyd get about 3 run out. We was in trouble without a doubt. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Venkataraghavan, Bedi in a turban, Vijay Jaishima, Jayanti Lal. They helped to win the series against the West Indies at Sabina Park and Queen's Park Oval. 158 by Kanai really sent our hopes up high. Noriega 9 for 95. The Indian team, they still survive. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Janjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies try holder and keep voice. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a shot at the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon to all our ardent listeners and evenings. Good afternoon to my fellow co-hosts this evening with me, Dr. Simoya Sandiford.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, of course, to all those listening to us abroad, those in Africa who are usually online. I think they're not really in the same time zone, if I'm not making a mistake. Those in Europe, London to be exact, those in Miami, New York, wherever you are, Canada, I understand we have a few listeners. We seem to have more people listening to us abroad than in Trinidad and Tobago. But good afternoon nonetheless to those of you who are on your way home in your cars. Today is still a very sunny evening, and we had a very eventful weekend. This weekend was also a weekend with some rain.
Yep.
A lot of overcast areas, and I understand it happened in Tobago also. And a lot of things would have happened over this long weekend. As I say, it's the island of holidays. It was 4 days.
Yep.
Well,
nice
2 holidays.
Long holiday.
And during a weekend. So it was a very long, it is one of those long weekends you actually look forward to because it is naturally on a weekend.
Yeah.
It naturally includes a weekend, right? So you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So for those who only work Monday to Friday, you were home for 4 days. Some of you took advantage of it and took a sick leave on Thursday and also took one on Monday and Tuesday. That's how dread they are. But Good evening, and as usual, this is the Third Umpires. My name is Stephen Matheson, and you are listening also to my co-host, Ms. Simoya Sandiford. And usually, this is the Third Umpire, so we would usually look at how the government is batting, who's in the wicket right now, and we would also look at how the fielding side is doing. So we talk a lot about the batting side without sometimes talking about the fielding side, naturally because they are not in office, and when they oppose things or when they support things, sometimes we may talk about it, but what most people don't realize that all 41 of them are really batsmen, because at the end of the day, they make up the government.
Correct.
So we should also pay homage to them, the opposition also, talk about what they do, how progressive we see they are, and what kind of possibilities. We have elections coming up in Trinidad and Tobago just now again. That is local government elections. And of course, they will feature heavily in our discussions as it relates to what they put out as their offerings going forward. That being said, a lot has happened over the weekend. And key among them, we had a long weekend, it was Easter. I wasn't invited to it, but I saw that there was a pet show in the Savannah. Angostura had an event where pet lovers were invited to. Usually it's a usual thing. I've only heard about it the first time I saw it on the newspapers, and I think it is a really, really nice gesture. More of corporate T&T should do that, because pets are an integral part of our lives in Trinidad and Tobago. Sometimes we don't pay the kind of homage to them, we don't pay the kind of respect to pets like we do in, say, the U.S. and that kind of thing in the U.S. I was in the U.S. The last time I was in the U.S., that was last year, sometime around this time. And I saw a gentleman came in, I was in a Target store. And I saw a gentleman came into that store. No, it was a Ross. I saw a gentleman came into that store with his dog, and the dog was walking and pulling down things from the shelves, and the attendants, the customer service reps, was just going and put them back. I mean, I'm not advocating that you allow your pets to go in people's business place and do that, but the kind of rights pets have in say the US and other places, we don't have that. We actually have signs. If you come with your pet,
no pets
allowed. So someday I was going out with my dog. I have a pug, and I was going out with my dog, and I took him out of the car, and I was going to go in this gas station, the
service station.
Service station. And I saw a sign marked "No pets allowed." I had to turn back and lock my dog in my car. Now I don't know what kind of if you could do that with a child. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we seem not to see pets as very important. When in fact, if you live alone, like myself, your pet
become
is
a security,
like a family, a member of the family. What do you think about that?
I don't do pets. God bless all of you all who do pets and who have dogs and things.
No, any particular reason?
Nope. I don't like animals.
Really?
I wouldn't hurt them, but I don't like them.
That's why you're by yourself.
My daughter loves animals, but not me. It's all right. I will watch from afar, but I don't like...
So you don't like dogs?
I don't
That's
like
kind of one of the reasons why women say all men are dogs. Yeah, women say that all men are dogs.
Women say that. I didn't say it, but...
So, I know they don't like pets.
No, there are women who love pets, who have the dog and the fish and all that. Just not me.
I like pets. I think living creatures like dogs and fish and whatever living that you could domesticate, I find they are so not just cute, but they are so part of the fabric of your home and good living. You could come home sometimes at night and just talk to them and play with them and that kind of thing.
I find people who have all that love for animals sometimes are very cruel to humanity. And I find charity begins at home.
But I am not cruel.
No,
I like
just
animals.
saying. Just saying.
Yeah. But you know, pets are important.
Yeah,
I understand
I
there are
see.
people who do like them, but
I see the
really
reason.
like pets. And pets, to me, they are important to our sanity sometimes.
Yeah.
You could just go and talk to them. But anyway, we've started late and we are going for the break to the top of the hour. So certainly we will continue this discussion and others at the next side of the hour when we come back.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. We the nation, cause you don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together because KFC is life. It's a big deal.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Tuesday is Value Day. Grab the crew and dive into terrific Tuesdays. Buckets from 9, 12, 15, up to 18 pieces with sides. More chicken, more value, more reason to share. Family lime, office lime? It must be KFC. Order now. Follow KFC Trinidad and Tobago WhatsApp channel for all the deals.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations, Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech. Exceptional service.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
It's a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make it like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. After that short bill pay segment. Yeah, so we were talking about pets and we were talking about the event, the Easter holidays, and what Angostura would have done and continues to do for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, all that money you're making on a rum thing, you should give back something to pet lovers and that kind of thing. So I really appreciate that. I'm sorry I wasn't invited. Maybe if you're listening to my Angostura, I have a partner who is the director HR in Angostura, you know. So Pali, Adrian, if you're listening to me, make sure and I see my friend too, by the way. Make sure and send me an invite next time. But I hear Seymour, I don't like pets, but I do. So make sure and send me an invitation next year. I will be there.
My gosh.
Right, Adrian?
Calling my name.
So, it's really interesting that, you know, outside of that, the Easter weekend, from what I understand, was really eventful, especially for those in Tobago. A lot of things was happening in Tobago, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I had some things that I wanted to get done over the Easter weekend.
Right.
And I thought I had to get it done. I still didn't get it done in the way I wanted to get it done, but the weekend was good for me.
Yeah.
Right? I feel that I had a productive weekend. Just like I had a productive day at the office today.
Yeah.
So, while we had a nice long weekend, I see that there was a lot of accidents on the road. And I want us to spend some time talking about that.
Yeah.
Because the kind of accident I saw, some of them would have related to speeding.
Correct.
Some would relate to the nature of the road, the condition of the roads. And so the government have to take some blame for that too.
Yeah.
And some would relate to other things.
But vehicular problems,
right?
I guess, yeah.
And up to a while ago, there was a vehicle burning on the highway.
Yeah,
I don't know what was the cause of that. And there seems to be a lot of problems on the road. And the question that must be asked is, if we're talking about vehicle maintenance and things, then we had to ask the question, how relevant or how well is this tax that is put on your vehicles every 2 years or whatever for you to have a sticker on your car?
Yeah.
Because I always,
inspection.
that inspection thing, I always say that makes no sense to me. That makes zero sense. Because if you have bad roads, and you're telling me that I have to fix all these things on my vehicle, and 3 days after I fix it, I go down in a pothole and I damage something, it means I have a sticker on my car which says that I could drive on the road for the next 3 years or 2 years without inspection. That makes no sense.
That is ridiculous.
That's just an unnecessary tax, in my opinion.
That is ridiculous.
Unnecessary way to take money from the public, because we still have an accidents, and some of which, I'm not saying all, some of which relates to, one, the condition of the roads, and two, the condition of people's vehicles. But then you have some accident that relates to speeding and traffic breaking, traffic lights, and all that
bad drive, people
and to me,
ignorant on the road.
To me, that is just horrendous. Those are the areas that certainly, I speed sometimes, which is a bad thing. But those are the areas that's what some of the areas that they really have to address and tighten up. Because, why do people speed? Me personally, I can tell you that I am a very impatient person on the road. I mean, it's sad, but I am a very impatient person. I like people waste my time. But nothing. I don't like to wait for food. I like to wait for nothing. So when I want to eat, I ready to eat. Right? Anything I do, I ready to do it when I ready to do it. I don't want to waste time. And the same thing with sometimes the road. On the road, the signs say keep left except when overtaking. You want to drive at 80 kilometers or 60 kilometers on the right side. That to me doesn't make sense. Right? And maybe we have to find a way, or you coming down at 100 and a person pull on the right side of the road at 60 in front of you. That's accident.
Exactly.
That's accident, and you're maintaining that speed. Right? That's accident. So the thing is, all these little things that might sound insignificant to some people, we have to deal with those things.
That's
right?
correct. That's
Keep
correct.
left except when overtaking it. There's a reason for that. At least you free up a lane so people who want to move faster or emergency vehicles or whatever could move. You can't be driving at 60 kilometers an hour on the right-hand side when people driving at 100 and want to pass. That makes no sense. Right?
I wonder how many of them really know that, because we have people who just go in, they're doing the test and they're passing and they're up on the road.
But you're blowing your horn, you put getting them license, they're getting like the more mad than you, the vex. What are you doing that for? Keep left except when overtaking. The rear regulations say that. Right? So some of them will argue, well, I'm going 100 kilometers already. So no sense I'm moving. Hey, you don't know why the man in the back moving faster than you. You don't know if it's an emergency
serious
because
emergency, yeah.
keep left except an overtaken clong. That's what that means. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, accidents on the road is becoming the amount of accidents that there were, and some may have to do with alcohol use. Some may have to do with, I mean, all kind of things. But we've spoken ad nauseum on this station about the roads and about. Sometimes I feel like I move in the night a lot. And sometimes I feel like sometimes we play in Russian roulette with your life.
Yeah,
when you drive out on
because
the
you
highway
can't
night.
see everything.
Because a man could just come from one side of the highway and come across and kill you. Driving normal, you driving safe, you're doing all the things, you're not drinking alcohol, you're not one. A man could just kill you just so on the highway.
That's correct. But not to mention, you see, I'm sorry, Beta Miss Love, but you see people crossing that Sealot section there, boy. And sometimes they in the dark colors, so you don't really know is somebody passing there until you see them scampering. Are you all crazy?
And you know something? A policeman told me one time, he said, listen, you cannot estimate the speed of a vehicle.
No, you can't.
They know they can't estimate the speed of a vehicle either. They have to use a machine. So how it is you could just decide to jump over a median and run across a road because you've seen a car quite down the road and you're telling yourself that car can meet you. Until you fly up in the air, cat spread in the road and you're dead.
Yep. And it's the dash cams that saved someone recently when somebody crossed from Sealot side there. And the way how it looked like the person was speeding, but thankful for the dash cam, they saw as the car coming out, the person step out onto the road.
Yeah, I mean, they just do that. And not just on Sealot. You see, down by, before you meet Shogunas, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Right? People... You had more sense than that.
With your life,
you can't just go it out, die by that walk over. If
exactly.
Your life, you could save your life by walking you could save your life two ways. You could save your life by getting necessary exercise for your heart and all that kind of thing, by walking to the walkover and walking over. And you could save your life from a madman or an ordinary person who driving normal speed, licking you down and your cat splattered in the road and dead. Use the walkover.
It's simple. It is very simple.
It's simple. Use the walkover. So, I mean, there are so many things that... Because when somebody walk out in the road in front of you, it's not just them you have to be concerned of. It's other
people in front, people in the back.
People in the front, people in the back, people who might be speeding more than you where you pull.
Yep.
Right? All kind of things. I mean, accidents. We had to find... We really had to find, not a scientific way, but electronic way to manage... the roads, to manage the highway. Always it's not just on highways these accidents are taking place. Some of that, quite a few are happening on the other secondary roads. But we have to find a way to electronically manage road safety on the highways. Like most other highways. I wouldn't even go to saying highways like the Autobahn in Germany, but right in Miami and that kind of thing, you have effective ways, RFIDs, and we talk about this on the program all the time. There are ways to manage the highways without making people feel uncomfortable, without having all these unnecessary roadblocks and all that kind of thing. That doesn't make sense to me.
Because
that's just a waste of time and productivity and everything.
And we were saying that I don't want it to be that the government of the day just run into reactive mode and just start back with the ticketing and all that. That is additional pressure you're placing on people. What about public campaigns and public education? Let Arrive Alive come and do some series or some sessions on television for public education purposes.
All that, without trying to force and
because
make people
ticketing
feel
people
that,
is not going to help the situation.
Let's take this call from this caller. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon to the program, Mr. Boya.
Good afternoon.
And the listeners. We are in 2026. And by now, it's supposed to have some sort of stimulation machines where you can actually put people inside and evaluate how good they would actually drive if you give them the opportunity to go out on the road. Licensing of it, based on the amount of money that they continue to collect, all they should have done invested in that, because too many people are out here moving vehicles and do not have a clue about driving. That is one of the reasons why, or the major reason why, we're seeing all these different accidents happening on the road, right? Some people driving a kind of way and they're not aware of the shortcomings of their vehicle and why it would limit the performance. Some people just speeding for no reason in places where you don't need to be speeding. And it's so much ridiculousness. As Mr. Matterson say, I too don't like to play on you. I like to get my things done and come away one time. But I really take it on since this revenue drive, where I see they only focusing the resources of the police on the nation's road. I take it on because I really don't have that money to give to them. You understand? But nonetheless, it really have some people who have no business being on the road. Right? Every day you could see it. You're sure to see some kind of bad drive, some kind of maniac guessing drive. Somebody is putting down. And the thing about it is, when we do get through the ridiculous drive that they make, they tell themselves, yeah, but I can handle it.
I can drive.
Yeah. Because something just didn't happen at that time. And you managed to escape your foolishness by not having an immediate consequence to face. But too much people putting down ridiculous driving. You're overtaking wrong corners. You understand? The road wet. All this speeding on these bad roadway. As you brake on a pothole, you have to brake on the next one. Come on, people. We can take it down. Too much fatal accidents. We need to take it down. If you cannot handle it, you understand? Drive to suit what you could manage. The objective is to reach where you're going safely. This is a joyriding that some people doing like it. Oh gosh.
Correct.
And it's more than that too. I mean, sometimes you're driving a car. You know, if I tell you something, right? Some highways are built for speed, right? Some highways are built for speed. Some parts of the highway are built for speed. Meaning that if you talk to people like Reef Along and these kind of people, they will tell you that some highways or some parts of the highways will be, you could safely drive at 120 kilometers an hour because the highway was built for that. Like, I don't know if you ever drive on the highway going down to after South, going down to Point 14 and that kind of thing. If you're driving a new car and your glass up, you will feel very uncomfortable driving at 100 kilometers an hour. Right?
Of course.
Because those highways are built for like 120, 130 and that kind of thing. But we have all the highways at 160 and that kind of thing. So clearly, we're doing something wrong. Right? In addition to which, we are not really taking due consideration for how people use the road, one, and why they need to use the road, and the time at which people use the road most, and other means of transportation, other means of public transportation and that kind of thing. So you have everybody trying to do everything on the highway, one man coming to town, three people in a family, and everybody coming into a car with just them alone, and you know, all that kind of madness. All this, we need to fix that.
Correct.
These are things we need to fix in Trinidad and Tobago, and all these things that contributing to the carnage on the road, one, and they are contributing also to the amount of congestion on the roads. And some of the things, sometimes people have genuine emergency, genuine need to reach faster, move faster than they're moving. So, I mean, it's just sad what's happening. Yeah. But they need to find a way very quick to fix this problem.
Not necessarily reactive, because to me, I get the sense that the only solution is carry up the penalty, carry up the price. You are stressing people
That doesn't make sense.
That is not a solution.
Spend some money on electronic systems.
Simple.
Right?
Simple.
All the way RFID cameras, all that kind of thing.
Get the cameras to
have
capture
a
people
national
at a certain
database
speed.
with everybody. Well,
Mail
actually
their
trying
ticket.
to do that. And
mail the ticket.
Mail the ticket. Right? Or, and you could have the same kind of penalties. You might get more money that way, as a matter of fact.
Yep, instead of having all these roadblocks and all that, get the
challenge
cameras.
with that is
maintenance of the system.
The challenge with that, not just the maintenance of the system, challenge with that is the data and the maintenance of the data. And also, if I lend you my car, if I lend you my car, and you do not, it coming back to me. So I know how to be more responsible.
Yep, that's
be more
right.
responsible with who I allow driving my car and that kind of thing. For me, I ain't letting nobody drive my car.
That's
because I don't want to pay no $1,000 or no $2,000 for nobody. When you don't drive and you don't hire sweetness or whatever, and I had to pay $2,000 down the road next month for you. You ain't coming to tell me you're broken. You ain't coming to tell me, yeah, you're going to pay for that.
Correct.
Right? So, no, serious. I mean, check all the people who might come and ask you for things that they can have for themselves. They don't have it themselves and they can't afford it. So a man will come and tell you, give me a loan. Why you go buy a bank, boy?
Correct.
Yeah? Why you go buy a bank?
Correct.
The fact is, you can't get one by a bank, but you're coming by me. So you're going to give me back, you say a loan. You're going to give me back my money? You're not.
Correct.
Right? And you know, a friend once told me, never lend where you can afford to lose.
That's
and
right.
That's a serious thing.
That's right. Cars included.
So cars included. So all of that might become a very serious thing.
Yeah.
When or if the government go that way, you have to be careful with who you lend your car, your vehicle.
That's right.
Who you allow driving your vehicles. Because at the end of the day, you have a vehicle on your name, but you have a man driving it.
Correct.
Pulling bull with it or whatever.
That's correct.
He don't have a problem with getting no ticket. Or he don't have a problem with getting no ticket with using those kind of systems. Because he not paying it. He know he not going to pay it. So the money you getting from him driving that car is obsolete. Makes no sense.
Absolutely.
Just saying. I mean, so many things you could go into when you look at them kind of situation. But lives are being lost on the road.
Absolutely.
And when lives are lost, you disrupt families. You have all kind of other issues that you're going to awake. You didn't expect that man to be young. That fella is now 21. That fella is now 22. He will have his whole life to live. That man just dead on the road just so.
That's correct.
You know?
Now, I want to go back to the vehicular accident where the Hilux went over on the next side of the median. And someone made an interesting point. They said, look like for some reason that van pulled as if to say there was an altercation. Now, this is speculation, but the person is suggesting that perhaps there was some kind of altercation where somebody pulled and he lost control of the vehicle and ended up on the next side.
But what I saw, like he was either driving too fast and the person in front of him slowed down.
Yeah.
And he touched the person in front and he pulled. And then he lose control.
Yeah.
And then he went over the median. Whichever it is, it looked also like he was speeding. He was going above the speed limit. It looks so. I don't know.
From
I can't
both
estimate
aspects.
the speed of it.
But I raise that to say there are people who play those kinds of games on the road.
Right.
I personally know of a couple that this young lady was so nutsy that she and she man, they fall out, they're quarreling, she pulling, steering.
Yeah, that clowns like that.
And I said to the young man, I said, you looking for trouble, eh? I said, this woman will kill the both of you all in this car.
Anytime I drive in a car and a woman do me that, I put her out on the highway, fought with.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Come
right.
out my bleeping car.
That's right. You see, you can't be so angry. No, we're not saying that that's what happened. We are just speaking about the comment and the fact that those situations happen, right? So just saying that. I am saying that if you are so angry, why don't you pull over and sort out all the situation?
How she pulling over? I driving and she not driving. How she pulling over?
No. Well, I'm saying to the whoever is the driver, either pull over and sort out all the situation, or to the young ladies.
It's to pull you out. Right?
I'm sorry, this happens with the young ladies who want to be more mad than the man. I really have to say it. Ladies, you cannot afford to be so crazy. If this person is upsetting your spirit to this extent, end the conversation, reach where you're going safely, and deal with that.
Yeah.
But this pulling wheel, that is a problem. And if they do it once, they will do it again.
I come like my partner on TikTok. When the girl come and say, so I see you, I know you holding me. I just like it, I'm sorry. You not saying nothing.
Stephen, you see this?
The kind of madness that woman that be quarreling with you for, to the extent that pulling their steering on the highway.
If that is the situation,
put them out.
Go away. Why am I even having this conversation?
Exactly.
If you decide that is the life you want to live, then I will just make you part of the regular population. I will never speak to you again. That's all. What we pulling, steering, and all this kind of thing. This is crazy.
And it's that.
But some men like it so because you don't like nice, decent young ladies. You like the crazy ones because the makeup is what has have you all going. That's all I'm going to say.
See my song like
a heart of caution.
See my song like a hood, but a man take your man, boy.
No, not at all. It ain't going to even reach so far.
A man from Lock Jacket take your man.
How we reach here?
I just saying.
How we reach here?
Because you're singing like you hurt.
I am saying that is the comment that if it had to reach pulling, steering, that is a problem. That is madness.
Yeah. And that to me is, I mean, anytime you reach there, I think you reach the end of the road.
Yeah. Because you see, it's not just those two people in that situation. It's other innocent people on the road who have to pay for the nonsense that you're doing.
Well,
we have to be more careful.
I saw the accident, and I was wondering if was it that this man was speeding and he didn't realize, because he seemed like he was in the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
He was coming up behind somebody in the middle lane, but the person in the middle lane obviously was driving slower than he was.
Right. I see pull to the left and then pull over to the right.
So it could be, I don't know, he was speeding, he was moving too fast, and he didn't realize he was moving so fast. He didn't realize he reached on the...
Probably compared to the person in front of him,
right?
trying to...
He's one of them who can estimate the speed of a vehicle. And when he reached on that person, he probably touched the person. But I know when he pulled to the side, he touched the person.
Yeah.
And the person kind of lose control and they pull back. Right? And they pull on the other side of the road and stop. But he went across on the next side of the road. Because it has something called... I don't know if it's centrifugal force, but once you touch a vehicle at high speed, and depending on where you touch that vehicle will fishtail, will spin around, and anything will happen.
Wow!
Right? And he was driving a van, as a matter of fact. Was it a van, right?
It's a Hilux.
Right, he was driving a Hilux. Them thing. Don't be so stable when you're speeding.
No, it's not. So right? You had to kind of take your time with those kind of vehicles.
Yeah. And worse yet if you're inexperienced.
That is it. And
you lose control.
Young, him and the other passenger.
You lose control and you will kill yourself.
That is, and I am amazed that the occupants of that Hilux, nothing really happened to them. So it will be really interesting to hear the results of that. But it is so scary driving on the highway.
But yeah, I saw some really, really horrific accidents. I'm a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
You see all these things. I saw some really horrific accidents up to today.
Yeah, over the weekend we had a lot of accidents. There's another one that ran into Honda Vezel or something like that. And then something, but there was so many accidents. After a while, it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
And why do you say Vezel? When you tell me one thing, Vezel seem to have some kind of problem, but them things be burning all about.
Yeah. I see a lot of them burning, like something is wrong.
Yeah.
So these vehicles need to be properly inspected to make sure that we don't have those issues.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we had to do something. Trinidad and Tobago has to do something.
Yeah.
This is where the government comes in. And it's not more money for tickets, not more police. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? A couple of months ago, I heard the person who's in charge of licensing said that in the next few months they will be implementing some digital systems. Well, I'm still waiting to see if that happens. Because to me, that should be a deterrent to some extent in solving some of the problems that we have on the road. But as you said earlier on, we need some kind of public education campaign happening.
Arrive alive, we can come together and do something.
Without threatening and frightening people and creating that kind of hysteria with police. And I said, coming around the savannah there just now, I see it had some, I don't know if it's a roadblock, but a lot of police and traffic jam and that kind. I mean, people looking to go home, you blocking up the road with that stupid ticket and all that kind. That doesn't make sense. You're wasting time. We're costing the state more money than you're making doing that.
I think we can do some sessions with Arrive Alive. They can have some pre-recorded sessions where they have people come on and just do a little 10-minute talk, give their life story of having survived an accident, and then have probably an expert in the area talk about what are some of the things that cause these accidents, some things for vehicles that female drivers are just pulling out female, right? I mean, men usually do the craziness, but for women
what?
I just saying, listen to me.
I am a man. I thought those women usually
Stephen, y'all just drive like you have.
Quicker drive on the right hand side of the road and don't know why you're blowing she.
Right, so I am saying we can have some sessions for women, some guidance on road protocol and all of these things. It will be very helpful.
Like she didn't see the sign.
But men, they take some kind of chances, Stephen. All you want to just be driving through everybody as if this is a track and field kind of thing. What is going on? Especially the ones who their vehicle low and the music is just blasting, and I don't want to accuse the Zessa community. But the Zessa community, you're usually guilty of that. But if, we can have some of those short videos, let an expert come and talk about vehicle maintenance, what to look for, how to know when you're...
First thing, I don't know Zessa vehicle, one. And two, I don't wash down vehicle. My vehicle always dirty.
So what does that mean?
So me and I don't have no loud music in my vehicle neither.
Listen, we see some usual suspects who have no behavior on the road. Yes, I hate to drive through Sour. I hate to drive by Mover Junction. Oh my gosh, it is terrible with the Zessa community. And me fighting up on my little pinny winnie where they're just going in front of me and I just want to fall apart. And they're cussing you on top of that.
Oh God.
So I'm just saying we can have public communication. I think the videos, those short clips with accident survivors and so on, it will be very helpful to hear their stories and the process of going through for healing all of those things are helpful.
There's a thing they used to do long time. I think it was Arrive Alive used to do it. You see vehicles where people dying or crash up and mash up and thing, they used to hang it up somewhere on some posts on the highway so people could see and put a sign,
Yes.
Remain Arrive Alive, drive safely, do not exceed the speed limit.
That's correct.
That's correct. These are the things that is cause speeding. Speeding is one of the probably the biggest casualty.
That's right.
Of the road carnage.
I think also this could be something that they could partner with the ODPM with. As we getting ready to go into the wet hurricane season, some of the driving protocols when we have this rain, the blinding rain to the point where it's white and you can't see.
No, well, you had to be stupid to be driving at high speed when you
we have people who belong to the foolish community, yes, Stephen.
But here the foolish community. When rain now start to fall, you see that dust on the road?
Yeah.
There's still in that kind of film.
Yep.
That will make you skid.
That's
and
correct.
Sometimes you realize
easy
that.
on that road.
So you notice there's more accidents on the road when rain now start to fall.
Yes.
Because of that. People remember people up in front and slowing down.
Yeah.
You coming down the road with the road now start to fall, you have all that dust and sludge and thing on the road created by a thing. You mash up somebody.
That's correct.
Because
a car is not $2 to fix. The slightest dent.
But a life is not. A life is
no, but that's what I'm saying. We're not even considering other things. So if you get a little simple bounce, it taking you a couple days to get your vehicle. That is inconveniencing you. There are people who live in communities where you can't just walk out. It's a long distance. So you are putting somebody in discomfort. Not to mention those persons who would have died as a result of this accident.
Correct.
So I'm saying we need to think about it holistically.
That person that might be a breadwinner.
Exactly. You make children become orphans.
Orphans, a whole situation. Sometimes a family or like mother and father. Sometimes is a breadwinner.
That's
high
correct.
Income earner in the family or died.
That's
Everybody
correct.
say sorry, thank you, my condolences and that kind of. But the kind of carnage you left behind.
That's
in
right.
that family.
That's right. It's crazy. So I think we need to not just have one view. That is why I'm saying I don't want the government to take a reactive approach. Sit down and systematically think about how we can deal with this. It starts with getting in the psyche of persons, of drivers, of even pedestrians. Because why would you just want to wait until you see a car and then decide you want to plop and go out the road? Why are you not walking on the white line? Why are you trying to cross the road on a green light?
You see that right in front of City Gates?
City Gate, you see the crazy? Oh my God.
You see that right in
It is terrible in Sour.
That in New York, boy?
No, you
I mean,
can't.
no, you could do it. I mean, you could do it.
No, but you will feel the
You're running a
consequences.
risk.
But then
And
they're telling you,
consequences.
bounce, are you serious?
But I want to get an old vehicle like a Vauxhall or something and tell my bounce you. You'll get iron.
Listen, I appreciate when I see those traffic wardens and the police officers in Sawan in the morning. I appreciate them. Big up to all of you all traffic wardens. You have to hot up the citizenry head sometimes because they just don't listen. And you encouraging school children to cross the road on a green light. How are you serious? And if the person gets hit, now the driver wicked. But you are crossing on a green light.
The driver should have seen light green. We didn't see it.
But the light is green. What does a green light mean? Is what I'm saying. So you have to get into the psyche of the citizenry to understand when there is present danger.
And that too. I'm glad you're saying that because that to me is another serious thing that causes congestion and also cause road rage.
Absolutely.
And also cause accidents. Right?
Absolutely.
You know, those are things that the next one, keep left driving on the right hand side when it should be on the left hand side, all them things.
The crossing protocols.
Right? And that one, driving on the right hand side when it should be on the right hand side, that's a woman thing.
Yes. We're very guilty of that.
Yeah?
We're very guilty of that.
You're on the highway and you're driving on the right hand side of the road. Right?
It should be.
And you're on the phone. You're on your phone too.
On the phone.
You're on your phone.
Come on.
You're on the right hand side. And people blowing you. You want to know why the bleep you're blowing me? Right? When really and truly.
This is why I'm saying, no, I mean, I'm not trying to defend the ladies, but for people who don't have drivers, for example, me, I am the only driver in my family. Mm-hmm. There's nobody to teach me anything.
You have a very small family.
Let us forget about that.
And you have any sisters?
Yes, but I'm the only one that's driving.
No. I'm talking about sisters. You have any big sisters like you?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But I'm the only one.
Give me the number.
Stephen, I want to caution you at this time. I am saying there's no one to tell me anything. I mean, as much as I pass my tests and whatever, I don't know a lot about the road. So I will try to go on the slow side.
So, but you do a defensive, you ever do a defensive driving course?
No, I haven't. And then that's the next thing I wanted to find out about. Would it be too much of a burden on the state to have that included in the process for acquiring a driver's license?
Well, I think the initiation for a driver's license should include that.
It should. It should.
Should include that. So what's the sense giving my license and then telling me I should get a defensive driving course? Do a defensive?
Yeah, because who has the time to do that? Make it part of the process.
Make it part of the process. So
for me, I would say especially under 21 or under certain age, like 17, that new bracket there. Give them the opportunity.
And drive a defensive driving course. Because, by the way, I never did one, but I understand what's defensive driving, and I understand also.
It's helpful.
I understand also what could cause accident. I've been driving years now. I drive all kind of vehicles, car, van, truck, all kind of thing.
I would have loved to have that opportunity. I've only been driving 5 years.
What kind of speed could cause what kind of danger?
Correct.
What kind of control you have over your car at certain speeds? People just think you're driving a nice new car with nice lights inside. It's speed, it's fast, new, and you're going fast. But you unaware of the control you will have over that vehicle at high speeds and in time when you need to mash brakes. A man come over the median, or a man, somebody mash brakes in front of you, or somebody just drive out in front of you. You have split seconds to think, and you have split seconds to control a vehicle.
And next thing, as you mentioned that, you see when the police coming up with their jail people or the ambulance blaring behind you and you have to fight up to pull to the side. Listen, that has just sent my anxiety through the roof. I can't. The first time it happened to me, I said, oh God, officer, what am I going to do?
No, well, I inexperience.
No, because you don't. Inexperience.
The reason why they're blowing the horn is for you to be alert and move. But you don't have to endanger somebody else or
but
endanger
that's what
yourself
I'm saying.
trying to
Somebody
move.
like me
take
now.
your time and move when you can move.
But they're coming up so fast and they're speeding.
That
so
has
I'm
nothing
like,
to do
oh
with the
my
fact.
God, what am I going to do?
Even if they're coming up fast, you take your time and move. You ain't going on. If you bounce your car, I'm going on.
Exactly. So that again, for people like me who didn't have the experience at the time, when you see all this thing happening and you're frightened, what are you gonna do?
Oh, you're afraid police.
I am saying that the speed that they were coming with, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, just had to take your time and...
You know? So, but it happens. If I feel that way, there are people who felt that way as well.
Correct. Yeah,
so that should be part of the little training to give guidance when you see this activity coming. You know, how you should proceed to allow them to pass safely.
Yeah, to pass safely. But, I mean, you're correct. I mean, a lot of things that has to be done. Sometimes when you listen to these programs, you think that it's only we thinking.
Correct.
Because you have the state, you have the government, and you have people who are put in place in charge of these things. And for whatever reason, let me tell you something. Let me work out the math here. If you have 10 policemen on the road in a particular roadblock, and it's more than that most of the time, you have police vehicles burning gas.
Yeah.
You have motorbike men. You have all that kind of thing. That is plenty money you're spending, right?
Of course.
And you're doing that every day. Think about the amount of... You have people driving at 5 kilometers an hour, sometimes at standstill for sometimes an hour.
Yeah.
In a traffic jam. People losing money at work. People reaching to work late. People all kind of... That is millions of dollars.
Correct.
Losing.
Correct.
What would it take you to put a digital system on your road, send home, retrench some of them police officers, right? So the state don't have to pay for that nonsense again, and make more money with people breaking. As soon as they break the rule once, twice, and they realize, hey, they had to pay big money for it, they lose the car or whatever.
I think we don't have to retrench the officers. We can now put that manpower into more crime fighting measures.
I just make.
But I get what you're saying.
Jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, right? But we use the improper utilization of the human capital in the police service is one that amazes me.
True.
One that amazes me.
That is absolutely
It's just
true.
like with Wassa and all them other places, you see about 20 men come to dig a hole and 16 of them standing up.
True.
It's the same thing with police.
Now, as you mentioned police, the police community are not, what you call that, exempted from this accident situation. Because when you see the amount of police vehicle machine,
exactly.
I'm trying to understand.
In fact, one of them died on the highway not too long
recently.
ago. And he was killed by a police officer. A police officer who was driving the car that killed him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where you all going so fast?
They're not immune to it. So they say they give reason why they shouldn't be wearing, they don't be wearing seat belt and all that kind of thing. That to me is nonsense. Because if you have a gun on you and it inhibits, well, don't put the gun on you. If you're driving, you can't drive and shoot at the same time. You're clown. Right? So all that kind of excuse as to why the police don't have to wear seat belt. Hey, it's the same car you're driving. The accident is accident. You get an accident, you can die the same way.
Correct.
And we have to pay for your fool.
Correct.
You should wear a seat belt too.
All these vehicles that are parked up there, I mean, listen, if we ever really speak to some of these mechanics or these body shops that are dealing with the police vehicles, you will hear some serious stories. And I think we need to have that conversation with Arrive Alive. Let the relative people related to these things, doctors and all, come and say to us the type of surgeries you had to do on patients that come from accident situations. When you have this type of discourse, you will give people an opportunity to operate from a place of knowledge. Because to get a surgery in this public sector, you're better off dead, you know.
But that's the next
especially
thing.
with what going on in the hospital.
That's
You
the
don't
next
want to
thing.
be in hospital right now,
So
and you don't have money for private.
You remember I started off by saying, sometimes I was driving on the night, on the road in the night.
Yeah.
And sometimes driving on the highway in the night is like playing Russian roulette with your life.
Of course.
Because you might be driving safely and you think you're driving, doing everything right, and you're doing everything.
Somebody else that come and mess with you.
But you see somebody flying down you on the next side, lose control for some of the same reasons we just spoke of.
Yeah.
And come across on your side and kill you.
And
you
just
just
so
went
that's
out
it.
the road for something and you didn't come back home. It's serious.
It's very serious. I think it's about time we begin to have these conversations, because people usually see in a kind of linear version or fashion. They're not seeing all the other circumstances around them. A simple fender bender is going to put somebody out of their way for about a week or two. Person who have children to drop to school, who have different things.
It will put some money in somebody's pocket, of course. It will put some money in the...
But it's taking from someone who has that money to do other things.
Well,
is what I'm saying. We don't think about anything else outside of ourselves. So that single mother who you run into the back of her car, who gonna drop them children to school, and then the little extra money you had to pay, all this set of money for transport to make drop-offs and pickups at different locations. You are putting people out of their way for foolishness.
But accidents happen.
It happens, yes, but I'm saying if we get a holistic view via discussion like that, hear from accident victims, hear from mechanics, hear from hospital staff, you know, the kind of things that people have to endure because of these things. Companies who buy a new vehicle, they invest in a new vehicle and then it get knocked off the road. That's another vehicle off of their fleet.
But you had to also hear from the people who were made to pay several times and lost the car because they couldn't pay, because they do nonsense on the road. And
thank you. So that's what the victims. Right? So once you have that conversation.
Because I remember when seatbelts was in Trinidad and Tobago, when wearing a seatbelt, people used to say, well, that American thing, what you wearing seatbelt for? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You wearing we do nothing, you couldn't understand the need for seatbelts. Until they saw them crash dummy advertisements, and until they start outlawing in Trinidad and Tobago, and now, from the time you sit down in your car, the first thing you do, almost everybody, is put on a seatbelt.
Yeah.
So we need to start some kind of campaign like that,
Absolutely.
And just to support the ticketing system.
Yeah.
Because you ain't removing that.
Yeah.
But you have some kind of campaigns alerting people as to why the express need to wear seatbelts. The express need to keep left except and overtaken. The express need to not break traffic lights. It has some traffic light I just break deliberately. Personally, I'm saying this. You see that traffic light if I come in down the road midnight and I reach I on Piccadilly Street by Duke Street corner there.
You don't want to
I will slow down. I will watch, and once I see no cars coming, I will go across that line. I'm not stopping there. The same one on St. Joseph Road there.
Yeah.
By the corner after the Bedford Street police station going down the road there. I coming down the road late at night. It's a four corner. I would stop and proceed with caution. And those lights, I feel at a certain time in the night, they should make them blinking.
Yeah.
Stop and proceed with caution. Or slow down and proceed with caution.
You can find yourself in a different kind of problem.
Because you can find yourself in and I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, while I don't condone breaking traffic lights,
but
those are some of the lights becomes a security risk.
Yeah.
And those are some of the lights you would want to either make the lights flashing at night.
Yeah.
Right? So that people could manage themselves over the lights, or understand that people will break those lights in the night, late in the night.
Yeah, because you want nobody to deal with you differently there.
Yeah.
But what about them truckmen though? I saw a video recently with a small car trying to, I don't know, giving the truck man a bad drive. The trucks and them kind of just stop just so understand that. They can't stop just so give truck man a chance, let truck man go now, man.
It's not so much that. I mean, most trucks have a sign.
Yes.
You never noticed that?
Yes.
Keep 18
14 to 18 meters.
18 meters away off or something.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yes, because they cannot see you.
Okay.
If you can't see the side mirror, they can't see you.
Not only that, truck have something called air brakes.
Yes, the air brakes.
Right?
Yep.
And they stop different from our car will stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And a truck with load.
Huh. That's
can't stop
different.
when you think it could stop.
Yep.
I remember some years ago it was an accident. I think it was by Mausika, where a truck killed some people.
Wow.
And it had to do with probably the driver not understanding the weight and the size of his truck, or the person in front of the truck, it was a woman I think, who stopped on the light before the light changed. So the light was on amber and she stopped on the light. Probably the truck man coming up the road flying.
Yeah.
And he expecting she to stop on the light. And she stopped on the light and amber. So she was not observing what was going on behind her.
Yeah.
And
so
it's sad
that serious thing. That serious
so
thing
all
right
them
there.
You had to really be careful.
We had to be
with
careful.
really,
Truckmen
really
also
careful.
just drive a little out of time.
Some of them is be driving too fast.
Truckmen, you could take it easy. Maxi men, oh my goodness.
Don't talk about maxi men. Oh God.
Maxi men, or they can't get on so on the road, or they
thing.
can't get on so.
I've driven in a maxi like, not even to go nowhere. I haven't driven in a maxi like for like about plenty years, but.
Some of them maxi drivers, they're terrible, man. I mean, it's one lover driver, but somehow they could take it a little easy.
You're serious. Them maxi men and them is a hustle, but them crazy, but.
Especially when you're pulling in front of other vehicles.
They want
to
nobody to pass them, and they're blocking the road. It's just like them PH men.
You can't do that.
Taxis and things do that too. You're on the road, and I rode with that's a dual traffic, and you stop in the middle of the road to pick up a passenger. When you could just pull aside and let people pass.
Just pull aside. You see right in front of that post office in Sour there, when they come off of the that access road, crossing the bus route, they're stopping dead on the corner. They're not even going down a little bit because other cars or vehicles trying to come
police
through.
Police be always there.
I just be so thankful for them officers. Them PH taxi man, or they can't do people that go further up a little by the fire station, so people who turn in, they don't have to find themselves in that problem because of you all.
And it happens all about, you see, but you had to blame the state too, because instead of talking about taxis alone, you had to get credence to the PH drivers and probably provide a means for them to work to, because they will always be there.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't stopping them, they will always be there. So at least find a way to provide some kind of space for them to operate too.
Yeah.
And also the taxis, and maybe you could get some taxes from that too.
Yeah. But you see, they're doing that because they don't want to pay the tax.
But not just sitting down and sitting at the police or the road by that same fire station to get them ticket and thing. That doesn't make sense. When you could find a place for them to stop, and now they know double the ticket price when they stop and block the traffic.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So those are some of the concerns that we have with respect to the roadway carnage on the road, people driving styles.
Absolutely.
And road rage also is. Some of these things cause road rage.
Yeah.
The state of the road, the potholes. I was driving close to a cross street some days ago, but it's about a big pothole in the middle of the road.
Wow.
In the middle of the road, to more on my side.
So you had to either slow down and try to
but for me to go out on the major road, I had to go on the next side because the car is driving it low.
Okay.
It's not a blinker, but it's low. It's just generally low, and it's very expensive to fix if I go along in that pothole.
Yep.
So I saw nothing coming, and I tried to go around the pothole. A man just swinging inside.
Wow.
The road But he saw me. He swinging inside the road and man started to cuss me.
Wow.
Like he didn't see that pothole there, and I tried to go around the pothole. But in any case, I might have gotten wrong because I would have been on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Right? If he had hit me.
But that pothole, sometimes you can't even go through it, so because it will slam your car all the way down.
I'm saying this because the roads are very, very bad, and that contributes to some extent to accidents.
To accident, someone died for that.
It's about a situation right on that same Mova Road, I think it's Lady Young Avenue. That same road to come up inside that Mova there.
Yeah.
That road bad by Market School, bad from Market School corner, by the corner to when you come down from by Paradise Heights, go straight up the hill by the yellow shop.
Wow.
The road bad, real bad.
Wow.
And it will cause accident because it's about blind hill. When you where the road is really bad on the left hand side, where you're driving, and you have to go on the right hand side.
So then what preventing?
You have to go on the right hand side, but it's on the hill.
So what preventing the authorities from fixing the
I don't know.
crime?
Nah, that doesn't do crime.
Yeah, but people have a perception about certain parts of the country.
Nah. Mova no crime like that. With that place, plenty places with plenty more crime than Mova right now.
Right, and we are aware of that, but is that perception what's stopping them from coming to fix?
I don't know, because, I mean, you could just fix it. If you can't fix it, just... And it's a WASA problem too, because WASA will dig it up. You'll now fix that, and WASA will come and dig it up and leave it the same, leave it worse than it was before they fix it. So the thing is, I mean, I don't know, but we have a serious problem here. But I don't know if it's a plan. I don't know if it's a plan with these services provided. I don't know. But that road can't be so bad for so long. That road bad long before elections. So that road bad like that for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
Or probably more. And clearly, it's not solving the problem, it's not fixing. And that's a problem. And it have plenty like that all over the country.
That is what I was about to say.
All over the country. I went to Rima, I see the same thing. I went to Granley, I see the same thing. Oh, well, don't try to go up on the North Coast and all them things. Certain parts listen, I went to a place in San Fernando. In the back of, what do you call that place? Not too long ago, you know. Bad roads, very bad roads.
I wonder if they made some, as you mentioned, that Piparo with the recent mud volcano situation, if they were able to fix back that road. Because the eruptions, it created some cracks and, so it messed with the pitch there. So I'm hoping that they're able to pull that back together for the residents to be able to be comfortable.
So I mean, we do have some concerns. We do have some concerns as it relates to the roadway, the carnage on the road, and to a large extent, the nature of the road or the condition of the road is contributing to some extent to the carnage. And that is a problem also, and that is something that, I mean, the government in office for a year now.
Yeah.
And last year all now so the government was campaigning.
Yes, yep.
Right?
Yep.
So the government is in office a year now, and to me, something has to be done, or something should be done. Right? All our money we collect in road taxes, and when you buy a vehicle, I don't know if you know this, but when you buy a vehicle, about 60% of the price you pay for that vehicle is taxes, taxes and duties and things,
Right, yeah.
60% of the value of that vehicle.
Yeah, when you look at the
taxes
breakdown.
and vehicles, and duties and things,
Yeah.
And transportation to Trinidad,
Yep.
Yeah, it's serious.
Yeah.
A BYD.
A
BYD, one of them expensive BYD vehicles. I just say they're better than Benz. Because I drive in a Benz and I drove a BYD. The new BYD.
Okay.
The big ones. They're real nice.
Looking so.
And one of them vehicles in China is not half the price they're selling it for in Trinidad. I ain't asking you, I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's not half the price they're selling it for in Trinidad. And it's the same thing with most cars. Your car, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah.
Cars are very expensive in Trinidad for taxes, tax purposes.
Yep. That's why hard when
you're paying a lot of money in taxes for the road to be on the road. Plus you're paying for a license. They want to make it the license, insurance. So why it is your car drive on good road?
That's correct. That's correct.
Why? And you have more cars now.
And
you have plenty more cars. Why your car drive on good road?
You can't say them things.
Yeah?
You can't say those things.
Why your car drive on good road if you're paying so much money on taxes? Look how many cars on your road. Look how many cars registered for the last 2 months.
Yep.
Right? But you're paying a lot of money in taxes for cars. So give us good road now. For the listening. We want good roads.
It's a fair ask.
It's a fair ask. Right? And this is the baton side we're dealing with. Because we had the same complaint with the feeling side. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going for a break again. And when we come back, we will of course change.
You got bills to pay. And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we dig on the ground. We the green nation, cause you don't know we where the crown.
It's a big D.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front.
Big D.
We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together, because KFC is life. It's a big D.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front.
Big D.
We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Big D.
Better living starts at Furniture Plus. Get up to 50% off on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus free gifts with select purchases and just $1 down on credit plans. Don't wait. Visit Furniture Plus today.
There's some advice when you hear it. You know one time is good advice. My granny tell me a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea first thing in the morning does wonders for the body. Good and natural ginger tea in its single-size packets is excellent for flavoring your cooking, salads and desserts. But what was news for me is when my granny say a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea helps with nasal congestion and colds, stomach problems, migraine headaches, and it's really good for arthritis in the body. Made from freshly crushed ginger root to get that strong ginger taste and aroma so soothing. Good and natural ginger tea available with or without sugar. So all you need is boiling water to get a cup going. As the old people say, don't take flambeau to see in the night what you could see clear in the day. Good and natural ginger tea. Good advice to start your day right.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Myself and Dr. Sandy Ford. We are in studio and we are usually bringing it live to you. How we feel, how we see things in Trinidad and Tobago, how we see things in the Caribbean. And I see there's a little furor taking place between Trinidad and Tobago government and CARICOM, where Kamala is asking for the appointment of Dr. The Secretary of CARICOM to explain, because it was done in conditions where it was done outside of, not taking into consideration Trinidad and Tobago vote and Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah.
Right? And that, from what they are saying, I don't know how important that is.
Yeah.
For, I don't know how important that is in particular for CARICOM and our existence in CARICOM, but it is an issue. And it's an issue being raised, and maybe the government of Trinidad and Tobago should get some kind of answer to it, because they've asked the question already. I saw the opposition would have made a statement on it. I don't know how to read that statement, but that too is, requires some thought. Outside of that, we talk here all the time. On geopolitics. Every now and again we talk about geopolitics, and I say all the time, and hear me out with this, what I'm going to say. I say all the time, what is happening in the world today is like a volcano about to erupt. And we in Trinidad don't even understand. We never had a volcano. And we don't understand how serious what is happening and how this is going to affect us. It hasn't reached us as yet. In the way it is reaching a lot of people. And in fact, what Iran has done thus far hasn't affected the world in the way it could affect them after tonight.
Just yet.
Because Trump is saying that tonight is the night. And he's going to make so he's doubling down on the nonsense that he's talking, and there are people supporting him. But what Trump hasn't realized is that Iran doesn't seem to care about what you do to them and what you say to them. And that should be, if I am a bully and I threatening somebody who I see as weaker than me, and I see that they ain't taking me, they carelessly they ain't taking away, I say, I will start to get worried. But that fella, it look like he had no guardrails. Somehow it have no adults in the room in the White House. So, and Trump and they haven't realized as yet that they have lost the war.
That's right. This is a serious
So you
thing.
want to go and bomb civilian infrastructure, you want to go and bomb oil refinery, and you want to go and bomb bridges, and you want to go and bomb hospitals, which you've been doing already. You are putting the world at danger.
That's right.
Because now the Houthis stayed out in Yemen, stayed out of the war for the last month.
Yeah.
They recently got involved, and the Strait of Bel Mandos, I don't know how to pronounce it, in the Red Sea. They have literally, they can literally block that, where 12% of world trade passes through. Outside of that, you'll have to go around Africa and all them places to get to bring things. Then you have Iran is saying, for what you have done in this illegal war, you have, if you want to negotiate with us, we will continue closing the Strait of Hormuz, and we will try to collect reparation for what you have done by putting a toll on ships and things that passing through. Nothing wrong with that. No, that in itself will send up the price of things.
Yes.
But that is fair, in my opinion. This wasn't, Iran didn't start this war. You started it. Right? And and America and Israel just fight war different to how other people fight. They fight war a lot different. They bomb hospital, children, all kind of thing. They don't really care. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller.
Yes, my brother. There's Solians who is calling on this program, on this station all the time. It's too much global affairs happening with we in the Caribbean not aware, the prophecy fulfilling upon we and all kind of thing like that. And I'm glad how to see beside the program that is calling on other people taking it up, right? Because they understanding what's already going on, the world heading to the brink of human extinction. And you know, long the amount of years I calling in this program, if they used to take me seriously, we'd create some kind of defense, mental and spiritual defense against the catastrophe that is here now. You know, long I recognize that because I was a churchman, and after studying all these things, you know, I was planting my little garden, expecting something to happen. I have a little thing plant up and whatever, and I was trying to inform people that we must do something like that. But people are only studying academic subjects, this, that, and they're making $1 million AI, all them big nations, and they're making millions of AI because they had a global agenda saying that the world overpopulated, right? And they say that these big nations, that them, you know, it had a time they were saying they believe that by now the world will out of a thing like oil, it will not have enough now to support the world in this development, this material development where they are. No, they realized they was wrong. It have excessive oil in the earth. So now they're trying to fight for the oil, and they're trying to bring about this new world order because the European nation realized that the developing nation, the smaller nations of the earth, you know, come and God make it happen so they come in defense of them, ancient Babylon, ancient Rome, and the oppression that they expire on the world. But right now, we must just get conscious. That is all. And probably we could still do something, you know. We have to create a spiritual revolution. Let me tell you what is a spiritual revolution. You see, the origin of humanity could make all the small people, the local poor people in the world realize where they come from. All of them come from black. Everybody come from ancient Israel. But they confuse the prophecy of ancient Israel and the history. And with Esau and Jacob and Abraham and all that, yeah, you see, we have to go back to the foundation of the promises that they promised the ancestors. God promised his ancestors, and that is the way Trump and them trying to hold on to, but because they know the majority of the people know the origin of humanity, right? So they say now them is Israel and them is that, and there is the Jews, but the Jews is African people, and it have Christian people right now giving them that claim. And we giving away we black narrative and we black heritage we have to use to rule the earth. And we don't know that. We don't even know we is rightful ruler and whatever. We is the royal dynasty, the root of the government of God. And all this kind of thing like that. You know, for years I say that, but I never get no support.
Okay, Kola.
When I was young, I spent real money on shows.
Thank you, Kola.
Bringing on artists, Judah, this one, that one used to help me. And I have proof. You hear what I'm saying? I used to do real shows all about on the line. Because I live on the train line, but the higher up, right, in my Bella, we used to do shows with brethren and whatever, but I never get through, right? With
Alright, so Kola, we had to end there because it was just going on, and we hear you, but we didn't want you to disrupt the program. And callers, when you call, try to take 2 minutes or 3 minutes alone. I mean, you can't just be going on and on and on, right? So we were saying that clearly there seems to be no adults in the room where Trump and they are concerned.
Correct.
Because if there were adults, somebody would be telling them that what you're doing is creating more problems for the world than anything else. And clearly Trump is doubling down. So he's saying that he's going to bomb them out of existence or something tonight?
Yeah, he will destroy a whole civilization.
That is stupid, right? You worse than Hitler, right? You're worse than Hitler with what you're doing. And people are now waking up all over the world and seeing the atrocities you and Israel are causing. Right? And all the people who supporting that.
That's not right.
Right? All the people who supporting that nonsense that Trump and them doing, they're crazy. Because Iran, what Iran will do, Iran will try to defend itself. And how do they defend itself? By hurting, by making it very expensive for you, which is what they're doing. Right? They will defend themselves by making it very expensive. So you're going to disrupt the whole Arab nation. You're going to disrupt the whole of Africa. You're going to destroy world trade. Because like it or not, oil and gas is probably the cocaine of the world. Right? Yeah, it's probably the cocaine of the world. And if you only understand how much oil we use every day, the world uses every day, about 300 million barrels. In everything. Oil is responsible for a lot of things. Plastics, everything. So the thing is, when you create that problem, you and all will, America and all will suffer as a result.
That's correct.
The trade and everything.
That element out that they will also suffer.
1/5 of everything that passes through, that comes to the world, passes through the Strait of Hormuz. 12% passes through the Red Sea, right? But those two areas locked off to the world. Everything has to go wrong Africa on the other side, which will take plenty time more, plenty gas more, plenty everything more. What you will say and China and they will suffer too as a result, but they'll be laughing all the way to the bank too.
Correct.
The same countries, you see, their policies are so stupid. Now, so you put sanction on Iran, you put sanction was the most, and Russia, the two most sanctioned countries in the world. Now you remove the sanction for them to be able to trade oil because you don't want the price of oil to go up and gas to go up because it will affect your economy. How stupid could you be? How stupid could you be as a leader? You're not thinking. But I wait to hear what
I'd love to hear the thoughts
callers. What are the thoughts of the callers? Because
remember, our Prime Minister is always heavily supporting the Trump administration.
Well, I don't think she might be supporting it again. Sorry to say. You've seen all that kind of madness happen with a madman.
But there was a recent time when they had the bombing episode that was happening. They put out a release through Ministry of Foreign Affairs supporting the actions of the U.S. or whoever.
How could you support the first thing you do, the first set of bombs you drop was in a school where you kill about 200 children, knowing them to be children.
So I am interested to hear this point.
How you can be supporting that? Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon, Marcus.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Simoya, Marcus, we live in a madman world, boy. Donald Trump acting up. But this present government is support Donald Trump. What is that madness he doing? We say about 8 o'clock today, you can drop some bombs there?
But he said tonight is the night, so we all have to have our eyes glued.
Well, this will really go on, but we have to hold that man, boy.
I think Russia and China had to do something. The world is really moving away from. Trump is hastening the speed at which the world is moving away from that unipolar.
That's right.
That's a particular radio station when I look and Shumaya and Marcus. And people pray for Donald Trump and saying something really wrong with people and like Donald Trump is the best thing after sliced bread.
A local radio station? A local radio station?
Yeah, every day they pray for Donald Trump and you're doing good and all kind of things. And then people can go and kill the children but something wrong with people.
Yeah, something wrong with people. But just tell you what kind of people you have in the world. What kind of people you have living in this world. It just tells you when you listen to the kind of thing. You killing people to save the world. Imagine that.
I am still interested to understand what is the purpose of the United Nations in the midst of all of this.
Well, the United Nations and the Security Council and the court in The Hague, them places are no teeth. You know why they are no teeth? Because if they had teeth,
then Trump
Netanyahu would have been in jail long time.
Netanyahu
would have been in jail long time. Even Biden might have been in jail.
I don't understand what really is the function.
So those places, those bodies are only there to tell countries like Trinidad and Tobago and small nations, right? What to do and how to do it.
They can't challenge the superpowers, as Ronaldo usually says.
Right? The superpowers, they live by different kind of rules. They make their own rules.
Yep.
And they do what they want. And that is evident in what you're seeing here.
Do you think it is possible for China now and Russia to jump in this situation?
Well, they have no choice. They will at some point in time, because Russia has a lot of scientists and that kind of thing in Iran doing work on the nuclear power plant. And China, this is an existential threat to China, because China depends on Iran for the oil and thing. So this is going to have problems.
Wow.
This is going to have some serious problems. And if those nations are sensible at all, they had to put a stop to this whole thing. Because America there are no guardrails with America.
No.
And they even soldiers are saying they're not going to fight. They don't want to fight. But, I mean,
they don't have a
The
choice.
president have a different kind of, you notice a general and some serious high-ranking army official resigned over the weekend.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it's a serious thing. It's just like what was going on in the Caribbean here.
This is interesting because didn't they just do what they do with Venezuela?
Well,
and capture the oil and all that?
They thought Iran was Venezuela. That's what happened.
But how much is enough?
How much is enough? America wants to rule the world. You forget God died and make America the person in charge. You forget? I mean, you are a big pastor, Christian. You didn't even realize that? You didn't realize God died? And put America in charge?
Stephen.
Come on.
How much is too much?
How much is too much? That's the question. The people
you just did what you did to Venezuela. How much is too much?
And you know, I always talk about this story, right? And this story is about the priest that end up in the concentration camp. And before he died, he would have said something. And he said that somebody would have written a story, but he said first they came for the socialists.
Mm-hmm.
And I did nothing because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. And I did nothing because I was not a trade unionist.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came for the Jews. And who is now the movement, who is now what we call the Zionists.
Mm-hmm.
And I did nothing because I was not a Jew. When they came for me, there was no one standing who could possibly assist me. And the moral of that story is bad things happen when good men do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that if Russia and China could be effective guardrails, why aren't they doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly we're seeing American weapons are nothing compared to theirs.
So why aren't they getting
American GLONASS system is nothing. GPS is nothing compared to theirs. China's BNU system and Russia. So why? And it's about time they get in, because Trump and they might very well Lego some kind of nuclear something in Iran tonight or tomorrow and get away with it to the world.
Yep.
Just like they did in Japan and boast about it a few days ago. Right? Just like how they do in Japan. The only difference is Japan could not have afforded that. Iran could.
Now maybe the other countries are looking, or other superpowers I should say, are looking at the investment in their country to date.
Well, if you're looking at an investment and a madman doing what he's doing to destroy all of that,
then
it will
that is
destroy you
all
eventually
grounds
anyway.
to defend what you invested in.
To stand up for something.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody needs to be the adult in the room and stand up for something, because Trump is clearly a madman. Who not seeing that car think the brain died? And you have a lot of people in Trinidad whose brain died long time. You just hear watch what happened during COVID. When people were saying, take a vaccine to protect you from the people who are unvaccinated. People brain died long time. And by the way, they were still dying with COVID. So people, what was the definition of a vaccine? people brain die long time in Trinidad and all. It's not just people have. I say it all the time. People go to university like you and myself. We get masters, we get PhD, we get all kind of thing. But we can't think. We read a book, we regurgitate, we pass the exam, and we have a degree, we have a master's, we have a PhD.
Our education system don't allow us to critically think.
Education do allow. Trinidad and Tobago education do not allow. In fact, it punishes critical thinkers. You understand what I'm saying? It punishes critical thinkers. You in a company, and you seeing things happening. And if you talk about it, you get punished for it. Because you're critically thinking.
They ain't paying you to think.
Trinidad and Tobago education and system punishes critical thinkers. Which is why we go, where we are commission agents, we just buying and selling and, that kind of thing, like chupides. So the thing is, the people who thinking critical is the people who went to school and didn't get that kind of education we went and get. And it's sad.
Yep.
It's sad. So if you could support Donald Trump and that nonsense he's doing, without even thinking, something had to be wrong with your head. No, serious. I'm saying it. Something had to be wrong with your head. But I don't know. I want to hear what the public have to say about what's going on and what is impending, because I say this all the time. Trinidad and Tobago is on the crust of feeling the most crushing set of, not just us, a lot of Caribbean small emerging economies and that kind of thing, not just Trinidad and Tobago, but a lot of other countries. They may feel it worse than us because we still have something to bargain.
That's right.
Some of the most crushing economic conditions ever felt in our for generations. And that is not no lie. And that is, if you can't read the tea leaves and you can't see what happened, in the next few probably months, sit down and wait. Because if Iran destroy all the oil refineries and everything, as they say they will do, after tonight, in the Middle East, it means that even them up there will be suffering.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right? It will take them years to recover and to fix those things. So if Trump is so dumb to do what he say he's going to do, I want to believe he's going to charge him. I want to believe he's going to do that. But if he really do that, it's like he didn't realize Iran still shooting back at them since 28th of February. He didn't realize Iran still shooting back at them. Right? So those who are listening to us and may have a contribution to make relative to what we are saying here, we invite you to call us. Let's hear what your contribution is and let us dissect the whole thing, because I see that Europe is to some extent pulling back. I listened to last night or night before Trump saying that it's better NATO stay out of this. They're waste of time, right? Because he's not getting NATO support. He's not getting Trump. He's not getting the support of Europe. So Steinmeier was trying to give him some kind of blanket support some time ago. Well, I don't know where that has ended. He is blaming everybody else for the nonsense they did. Why did you go and attack Iran? Why? The same reason, or the same question I would ask Bush, why he went and attacked Iraq.
Yeah.
Why? What's the reason? And somebody just said that everything that happened in Cuba, that was bad. Everything that happened in Venezuela, that was bad. It was because of America. We don't even understand that. We still saying that Venezuela bad and all. We don't even understand it was because of them. Their policies, sanctions and all kind of thing. How they use the dollar. And probably one of these days I will do a show where we explain the power or explain the petrodollar. And how it works. Right? The world, plenty of people don't understand it.
Correct. That's why they would think
after 19 60, well, I think it was 63 after Nixon made that deal with Saudi Arabia. When you make the world reserve currency, the US made the world made currency, and you are now, you could only trade in US dollars and oil, trade oil in US dollars. That's why we call it petrodollar, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, it means that you give America a whole lot of power over your system and your economic system that they would not have normally had if everybody was allowed to hold a goal and peg the dollar off of that.
Yep, that's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
So the thing is, we don't even understand that in Trinidad. We don't even understand that. So when we talk about BRICS, right, and why maybe countries should join the BRICS,
right?
The US try to frighten you and tell you, well, companies joining BRICS will be sanctioned and all that kind of nonsense. How long could you do that if your currency is not the world reserve currency anymore? How long could you do that?
But you wouldn't think about that if you don't think outside of the
And
box.
remember, I was just talking about when good men, evil prevails when good men do nothing. And all of that falls within that. We aren't able to see all these things.
Correct.
And that's a problem.
Correct.
That's a problem.
Correct, yeah, to have foresight to really interpret, but they're only grand charge and they cannot affect, we can't go on with this for long.
Well, the US will go on with this for as long as the people of the US allow them to. And as long as the world, China and Russia and India is a weakling, in my opinion. India is what you call a paper tiger, in my opinion. Right? But for as long as they continue supporting this, what America is doing to the world will continue. What America is doing to the world will continue for as long as they continue doing nothing. Because they by themselves, Brazil, South Africa, India, China, Russia, they by themselves could change the reality of what's going on across. You see you see how American weapons are classified as superior. But it aren't really. Because Iran is showing them that no, it's not. And we used to say the Iron Dome is the most superior defense system in the world. What's happening? So much so that they're hiding. They're jailing people for taking pictures and taking videos and sending it out to what's going on in the country. You know why? Because they have to keep supporting the American defense network and that industry that keep making all these weapons to kill people. That they keep supporting that. And if they show what those weapons aren't able to do, countries will start buying them. You understand?
True.
So because America seems to have a monopoly on it, and if the monopoly don't work, they kind of force you, like they was trying to do with countries in Europe, to buy it. That's the reality of the whole situation, and we're not even realizing it. Trying to Tobago, they think we're really suffering. Trying to Tobago, Ronaldo always say that, but you're right. We're not suffering. We're not suffering. You think we could just wake up in the morning and do something? I mean, I could say what I say on the radio, right? But we can wake up in the morning and buy things from who we want and put sanction on America.
Yeah, you can't do that.
We can't wake up in the morning and do that. You know why? Because of the petrodollar.
Yeah. Power the US dollar.
Yeah? So one of these days I will do a session on the petrodollar in particular. But clearly, we have to understand, we have to begin to understand what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, what's happening in the world, and how it's going to affect us, probably in the not too distant future. As a matter of fact, if Trump goes through what he says he will go through, what he will do tonight, the world may very well be in a blackout stage very early, much earlier than we say we expecting it. I'm not talking nuclear or anything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about things like inflation.
Yeah. Everything is going to go up because
Right?
it depends on the oil trade.
I'm talking about inflation. I don't know how long Trinidad and Tobago might be able to sustain the price of gas. Because clearly it will have to be subsidized very soon again.
That will be a big deal.
Because you know what's the price of gas in America? Super. About 6 something US per liter. That is about almost 7 times what we paying for it here.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep.
That's about 7 times what we paying for it here. So clearly, if that is the price of it on the market, then clearly our thing will be heavily subsidized.
That's correct.
Very soon. And people trying to go, then all they will start to realize what is going on across the world and why all they should understand
us, it.
How it is impacting you. Right? Because you can hold on to that for very long. That dollar decrease that they make they do after the budget. That ain't going to sustain for very long again.
Exactly.
Almost sure about that. We'll see it for super and jet fuel and that kind of thing.
That.
All over the world, airlines are reeling out of the fact that they had to pay almost triple the amount of money you're paying for jet fuel. Not to mention all the other security risks and insurance and all that kind of thing. Saudi Arabia and Dubai and Qatar and all them Arab nations are literally shutting down. People are trying to get out.
Wow.
That's how bad it is. Because all the American bases are being bombed by Iran. People, just now planes can't fly. They say about the amount of plane that was in the air on February 28th in those countries is just about a tenth of it flying right now.
Job loss.
Right? Job loss is if job loss is the only thing. Fertilizers, food. American economy will suffer just now because fertilizer is a thing they need. They use that heavily in the agriculture industry.
And that's why you say there's no adult in the room to explain.
It had to be that there are no adults in the room. Because, listen, a simple thing. Did Nutrient close down?
I don't think Nutrient closed down.
I think they were on the verge of closing down sometime in Trinidad.
Of that nature.
Right? That used to be my client. But Nutrient provides fertilizer. They make fertilizers. And they make fertilizers. Most of it are exported.
Wow.
I know that they were exploring closing down because of the gas situation and that kind of thing. If that actually happened, I am not too sure. I guess maybe somebody who knows could call us and give us some more information on that. But if that happens, I think they had given a date when they will be shutting down operation.
Wow.
If that happens, then because there was owing the government quite some money, a lot of money on gas exchange and that kind of thing. But if that happens, there was owing the government on port facilities and rent and that kind of thing. If that happens, it means you have less fertilizer in parts of the world, or if they move the operation, but you Trinidad and Tobago also has a situation that we will have to deal with very seriously.
That's right.
And those are things that I would like to hear the economists and
definitely to speak about.
The energy people in the sector talk about, because this is real, you know. I mean, people not understanding what's going on. This is real. This going to happen.
Yes.
There's not no fear mongering and thing.
I am interested to understand why we haven't had those discussions from the time Trump's had to make those statements. Get some of the experts in those areas to have that conversation again for public knowledge and education, because there are people who don't understand what that means for us.
Is sleeping. I mean, we need to wake up from our deep sleep.
Yes, because this is going to have a huge impact on the lives, and the reality is that the small man is going to feel it the most. The small man who have a little small car trying to do something.
As I was talking to a client today, we were talking, Bob, if you're listening, give me a shout out. I was talking to a client, a businessman with a hardware today. Not a hardware, a sawmill today. And we were talking about the importance of agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. Now I know this government is probably making a lot of strides in fixing the agriculture situation, probably reducing our food import bill and that kind of thing. But agriculture is so important to a nation like Trinidad and Tobago, especially in times like these. No amount of oil and gas you have could save you if you have a blockade in the world and you have inflation and food and that kind of thing. Because everybody will be holding their things to help their situation. You, in the rain, because you spending $1 billion every year, $1 billion US every year to import food when you could be planting half of them thing and the next half you could do something to change people taste or to change people want and need for it. Right? So many different things. I'll make the price of a Coca-Cola, that should be about $80. I don't want to talk about certain other places because they advertise here, but certain things I would make very expensive. Very, very expensive. Because those things are just not right. You could concentrate. Listen, I work 24 hours, you could see. I come to realize that a human body probably don't need the amount of sleep they say they need. I might be wrong. I don't know medical doctor, I know scientist. But I spend a lot of time learning new things. Yeah. A lot of time doing things. I spend a lot of time living a full life. I do a lot of things that normal people don't do. Yeah. And one of the things I realize is that you could do a lot of the things that people think you can't do. In Trinidad, we could do it. We could grow our own food. Everybody here in Trinidad and Tobago has some kind of space around the yard. And if you don't have space, you can even grow your thing inside your house. That grow box, it have grow tent you can buy and grow your thing inside your house and all. Inside your house in a room. Everybody have a little space around the house. You can plant your little peppers. You can plant your little lettuce. You can plant your little sweet potatoes. You can do all them things to save yourself.
That's correct.
And you know what? I do it. If any of my neighbors listening, they can call you and say, yeah, that man does really do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I have one sweet pepper tree that could feed my whole neighborhood. I planted that sweet pepper tree since about September last year.
Wow.
It's taller than you. That tree never done bare. If you see sweet pimentos on that tree. Same thing with hot pepper. One hot pepper could feed my whole, everybody in my neighborhood. And I just sweet pepper and pimento. Lettuce, pawpaw, right? Mangoes. You know where I live in, right?
Yep.
I live in the city.
I know.
So why you can't do that?
So
why people can't do them things?
Yeah.
You could do them thing. And there are ways you could do it, and it don't have to be big trees anymore.
Yeah. Just small things, so a little kitchen garden. But you see, the reality is too, we have people living in rented spaces. So, sometimes with those regulations with landlords and so, they ain't really want to set all those things to make the place look a certain house. So not everyone is a homeowner.
You can plant them thing in pots too.
Yes, no, I'm not saying no, but some landlords do have very strict regulations about those things. So, I mean, for those who can, it's a good investment.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we really have to start to think in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. That's the long and short of it. We have
supported by the government, of course. And at the end of the day, we have to do what we need to do. Because if we don't, we will end up in problems. And we are seeing what's happening we are really, really seeing what's happening in... Let me take back this call. Caller, good evening.
Yeah, hello. I forced to call back here because when I listen to it's sounding so nice, all we're talking about it, because it's years upon years of trying to influence black people in Trinidad that Look, I have big trees that talking about garden in government land. You hear what I'm saying? And I've been talking about this on the radio station for years. But though, let me say one thing quick. This is what I call to say. You see, if the people who rule in the country, they may have no spiritual knowledge and no insight on God, the Bible, prophecy, how are they going to lead the nation? They will lead them into destruction because the New World Order, that is all the European nations depending on to do right now to keep the earth in a captivity. The Bible talk about that ancient Rome, the resurrection taking place away. And like all of we don't even know what's going on. Good thing I know about God from my mother and father and all of them. They don't know how you could rule a world or you rule people on the pure the knowledge of good and evil. When Adam and Eve sinned, God Almighty, Amen-Ra, left them with the pure the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life come and we turn back to them and kill him. That is who we call him Jesus Christ. So that's why he left we in this kind of calamity. Because how we going to help we when we don't want to listen? And it's same thing, long I foresee all these things, and we're waiting until it reach critical now. It's really reach critical. It's everything. But going to be 10 times worse than this is. Because they say so in the Bible, all this prophecy, 1/3 of the earth civilization will die for lack of truth. The truth, I could still do something, because the truth critical, but you see, it's so much you have to ideas you have to give out. The first thing I think we have to do, we have to look for allies. And the allies is them European nations. We have black people. West Africa is like a virgin continent. We can destroy it, and we could pass that inspiration and the ideas onto them European nation and them. And you see, the poor people will turn away from the global leaders. And that is the only strategy I see I have now. And you know how much strategy I keep formulating. But what I'm going to do with it? I'm trying, but I have nobody to help me. They're waiting until they see catastrophe. And still nobody with me help me. When I was young, I spent real money on shows, right? I got sculpture molding man, right? Freemason, I got freehand mason. I could do anything. I could make statue, all them things. That's how I make me living and send me to school for X amount of years. But though, the ideas coming now with God gave me is way more than that. Because we is the same ancient. I got singer, I soldiers, I got the singers and dancers and the players of instruments is the royal dynasty and the root of David. The white man thief with legacy. You know how many new song I writing on that. The white man thief with legacy, and we still don't even know who he is. They're calling themselves Jews. There is not no Jews. There is the poor ancient pirates with rabbi. Yes. But how to make everybody know that it's like a spiritual revolution? But me by myself, I can't do nothing else. I like to hide in the bush. I hiding in the bush because if you jump out there like Martin Luther King, Uriah Butler, and all of them there, you know what it is do. You know what it is do. I rather to hide, send it out and wherever and beg people to take it up or see what's in it. But I know I could form a revolution. I saw their hands. We can form a revolution against principality and spiritual wickedness. We could take all the Chinese, the sufferers, Chinese, white people, Indian, all of them going and die. They make AI robots to substitute them so we could take them and conquer the world. That is a strategy where God telling me right now, but it takes plenty truth to inspire the rest of the world. And then the dry bones, then we will put flesh on them and conquer the whole world. And I know we can do it. And no, but you can't do it by yourself. Thanks. Sorry for bothering all you again. All right, yeah.
Thank you so much.
It make a lot of sense. And I mean, at the end of the day, we had to think about all of that. The caller is right. He is right. I mean, the thing is, he's right on so many fronts that, at the end of the day, brother, or Simoya, we had to start to think, boy.
Yeah.
Thinking is the problem. Thinking is the downfall. And it will be the thing that will destroy us.
It can't be reactive.
You can't think two things.
Yeah, you can't just be
Right?
reactive to the situation. You have to have holistic solutions and make sure that these solutions are actually sustainable. So,
and sometimes because we are unable to think, we ourselves try to oppress those who are thinking.
oh yes.
Right? So we see
For
them
sure.
as
Problematic.
as all that kind of thing, because we aren't able to think ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That's a serious problem. You hear it on radio, you hear it in the schools, you hear it in the workplace. You meet people all the time that just not thinking simple concepts that they can't think it through.
Their mantra is, this is not how we are accustomed. We are accustomed doing it this way. And that's how it's staying.
And that's how it's staying.
Yeah. So no innovation being applied, and that's why we're still in this situation.
As they say, innovation. I see we be innovation guy here for some time
For
now.
a while. Well, he lectured anyway, so.
We are no, but still, I mean, I don't call him.
Yeah, so you're going to have that
that's our
discussion
brother.
in terms of what innovative strategies we could use at this time.
Because even you lecturing at the University of the West Indies, how many people really coming out thinking? How many people are you, how are you know?
But you see, in as much as we want people to think, we do not have the facilities to be able to sustain that level of thinking.
No, I disagree. I beg to disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree.
But before you come,
go ahead.
I am saying, for these things to happen, you wouldn't necessarily get the positions in the corporate spaces. But for young people, but to start, you could do your thing yourself. Yeah, but those startups, for example, I don't know if is it Nedco or wherever.
Nedco, forget about them.
Nedco. What about those grants? And people don't have the resources to fund their innovation. So we could want as much innovation as we want, but the funding is the issue. What are they going to innovate on?
And that's why
we're seeing all these problems.
We need venture capitalists in Trinidad
yes.
and Tobago. We need people. Now might be a good time in the world where you have like people, philanthropists, and that kind of thing with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Who believe in philanthropy and that kind of thing, to probably see nations, merging nations like Trinidad and Tobago, and come in and look at the people the thinkers.
Of course.
And the people who want to create things.
And give them the space
to
do that.
Give them the space to be able to do that. Because you have AI by itself.
Yeah.
You could make a lot of money from that shit.
Yep.
Plenty money, Yep. There's so many things. You could just go and ask them. There's so many things you could get into.
There's a lot that can be invested in.
You could just make money off of.
But the capital is needed.
People are going to lose their jobs. Trinidad and Tobago is usually miles behind with everything that's going on in the world. For whatever reason, I don't know. We like a big ship that can turn quickly. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a first-time caller. I really enjoyed the program this evening. As a matter of fact, it encouraged me to call.
Okay.
I really enjoyed and agree with what you said about what's going on with the USA and the madman that's sitting in charge there. And the world and people really need to wake up and do something about that. Is a terrible situation.
Correct.
Very, very terrible. I'm looking forward to your session on the petrodollar.
Right.
To hear more about that.
Yes.
I think we really need to be educated about that and how that influences everything. And concerning the agriculture, again, very, very important. And people really need to lock in on it. But I think the problem with agriculture is that the average person does not respect agriculture enough to get involved and to do it. I think our minds, our culture now focuses more on this idea of a first world nation kind of status that prevents us from seeing the importance of something as quote unquote simple
as agriculture, but which is very necessary.
Correct.
And I know that there are plenty incentives actually out there. The Agriculture Development Bank, they put out a lot of programs and information that could actually fund agricultural projects. Well, once you have the basic necessities and a solid business plan and that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's an investment that is being made. I think the average person just needs to see the benefit in it and jump in.
Correct.
I also think that the average person also needs to think of themselves involved in manufacturing. I think that we could really catapult the nation forward if we could take our primary resources and then do some kind of manufacturing with it so that we could be involved in export. And that's my contribution for this evening.
It's all right, because listen, we see what's happening in places like Dubai and that kind of thing, who only lives on oil, but they are trillionaires, right? We could be the Dubai of the Caribbean, you know that?
Sure.
Easy, because we have the brain power, we have the infrastructure to some extent, the greater infrastructure than the majority of the Caribbean, and clearly, if we start thinking, and probably our governments are thinking along the lines of what we're talking about here, maybe it might be very easy to become the Dubai of the Caribbean, because just now they and all might be running away from there to look for places to invest and that kind of thing, and here might be the place to do that.
That's correct, yes.
Here might be the place to do that, because what is happening, I mean, people aren't reading the tea leaves, and certainly they aren't reading the tea leaves, and you know, if you didn't believe in the Bible, maybe you should really see some prophecy now in what's happening, because what is happening is going to hit us like a ton of bricks probably in the next few months.
Yes, correct.
Yeah? So the thing is, thanks for calling, and you must call us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Simoya, I mean, it really, I mean, it's interesting that, you know, what is happening isn't bringing people still living normal and happy and on the avenue and living and partying and
because we simply don't know.
Because it's either you're not concerned, you ain't care.
Well, we jamming still. The city could burn down.
Who man sing that?
We jamming still.
The city burn down. We jamming still. Listen, people in Iran are jamming.
That's correct.
Them have a cause and them know exactly what they're going to do. So if America, Trump, want to take God out of his thought and do what he say he will do tonight, they plan for that already.
Of course.
They plan for that already. And they don't have a problem with martyrdom.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Was it in capitalism and slavery where Dr. Williams was talking about the resilience of our people? We haven't really had to fight much for anything. That is why we have this kind of laid-back culture.
No, but
other parts of the world that have that.
You're correct. You remember on the Middle Passage and coming to this part of the world. I mean, C.L.R. James wrote about it. There's a particular passage where he talk about when they have revolt, not revolt, but when they have uprising and they have distress on the ship with slaves, they will take one slave and cut them up in about 300 pieces and feed them to the other slaves just to break the spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Or they have high seas, they have problem on the seas and rough seas and that kind of thing. They'll tie about 100 slaves on a piece of chain and send them down to with a big ball and send them down to the bottom of the ocean. All of that they went through, and they were still very resilient when they came here. They were broken because you took the culture, you took everything from them when they came here, and they did certain things that, and all the nosy white man will know because the children we born into it. Yeah. So we listen to American news and tell ourselves that news. So anything they are able to manufacture consent, and we are thinking that it is what they say it is, without thinking for ourselves. And looking at alternative news, looking at alternative position, thank God for YouTube and all that kind of thing. And there's another one besides YouTube that's better than YouTube. I'll tell you the name of it just now. But Rumble, not Rumble. But you know, looking at alternative news and alternative communication, which we're given, and you could read between lines.
Perspectives.
You could read between lines and see what is true and what is not, because the showing is not everything is AI. They have a lot of AI nonsense on YouTube and things.
Correct.
But not everything is AI. You should be able to discern that. You could do your own research and check certain things.
What AI looks like.
And
coming down to the last 30.
Yeah. And there are a lot of things you can learn.
Of course.
I learn I have 4 degrees, 4 university degrees. And the amount of things I learned in that 4 degrees, I learned a trillion times more than that from looking at YouTube and that kind of thing. Right? So the thing is, we need to start thinking as Trinidadians. And that's what I have to say. This evening was a great evening.
It was nice.
We looked at a lot of issues, and certainly we'll want to continue this tomorrow.
Of course.
So for now, we will be in the next few seconds, we'll be going. Our show comes to an end. We will see you tomorrow, God's willing. And certainly we will have equally wonderful program.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We allocate